welcome to the second ever Qualified Gamer Guys podcast. I'll be your host today. My name is Steven, and with me is the other Qualified Gamer, Neil. How you doing, Neil?
I'm doing pretty good, Steve.
So let's kick this one off by talking about our favorite segment. Well, my favorite segment. I'm not going to
Oh, it's my favorite segment too. Don't leave me out.
It's called This Week in Video Game Release History. So, how this works, if you didn't join us last week, and if you didn't, you're terrible. But thanks for joining in this week. Is we look through history, we find a game that released this week in some point, and it's got to be at least 3 years old or so, and we talk about it. So this week's game is Mario Party number 1, which released February 8th in 1999. And Neil, I know you have a great story involved with Mario Party. Would you like to share?
It is the greatest story in that it is what turned me off of Mario Party for the rest of my life.
And turned you off with Nintendo, apparently.
Nintendo Mario Party. I used to love Mario Party. It was the game that everyone got together and just played for hours.
Yeah, of course.
And so I was 1999, so I was 8.
Okay. Good math. Quick.
So quick math. So I was really young, and so my older brother is a completionist by nature, and he decided it would be fun to do absolutely everything in the game, unlock every possible thing. I don't remember what it was. And he determined the most efficient way to do this is to play the most boring level, which was the practice level.
Uh-huh.
Remember that? There was nothing special. Yeah. It was just 10 rounds.
Just 10 rounds, yeah.
And I think there was almost like no reds, no nothing. And he just made me play that, I think, for like 4 hours in a row or longer.
See, I'm a little confused. It's just, let me butt in here. A completionist, how do you complete Mario Party?
Because you could like buy all the mini games or buy like there was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you could complete that by actually playing the game and enjoying it.
That's not how he works. And he literally, I remember sitting there and he made me play it for hours and hours. And just that one level over and over again. Every time the minigame popped up, he'd be like, all right, here's a strategy. And he made me play a particular way. And it just, for hours straight of doing that, I just never, it's so hard for me to play Mario Party anymore. I just can't do it.
Did you ever play afterwards? Like any of the ones? We're going on Mario Party 10 coming out in March.
I think I played Mario Party 8.
Okay.
Because my friends got it, and they were like, look, you got to play this. They know the bad history. They literally know. They don't invite me to like Mario Party sessions because this is scarring me for the rest of my life. And I played it, and I really do like it because I'm not playing the most boring level and doing the it was just like the most repetitive thing in the entire world.
I've always had a soft spot for Mario Party. I've always loved it. I've always been the guy who's like, let's play the 50-turn one.
God.
Like, just sit there. But I like Mario Party 1, but where I really shined with my friends was Mario Party 2, just based on the fact that there was, a lot more mini games. And, the first Mario Party, there's only 6 playable characters, actually. I didn't even realize that. It's just Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, for some unknown reason, and Donkey Kong. There's no Bowser. There's no Daisy. There's no one exciting.
Well, now any Mario game's lineup has like 50 plus characters. They have. Weren't you saying that they have the guy in Mario Kart who used to hold the start or the?
That's
he's like a playable character now. That's insane.
Lackey 2 is playable in Mario Kart, which makes no sense because he also appears before the race holding the thing. There's 2 of them. So I don't know how they get away with that. But obviously Mario Party, it's worth mentioning just because, we're on Mario Party 10 now, 16 years later.
It wasn't the first game to, because I'm pretty sure Mario Kart, like on NES or whatever, was the first game to get all the characters together. But I want to say this kind of launched it, where it was like, hey, look, we can throw these characters in every type of game, and people will just buy them.
Well, what year did Super Smash Bros. Come out? Wasn't that 98?
Was that before this?
I think that would be before this. 99. I don't think Super Smash Bros. Came out after 99. February.
You're probably right. You might be right.
So, what I've always kind of found amazing, and when someone mentioned it to me, I felt dumb, but like Donkey Kong is from a different realm than Mario, but like just because they appear in Jumpman together, which or in Donkey Kong together when Mario's name was Jumpman, they just put them in games and it's not like a cross game. Like the big deal with Super Smash or whatever was we're crossing over now. But like Donkey Kong appears in Mario games all the time. And it's not a cross in their thing. I'm like, it's just a weird thing to call out that just because they were in that arcade Donkey Kong game that they're technically, in the same universe, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
unlike Link when he comes over, like that's a separate Nintendo universe.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of the weird thing about that, where you never think of it like that. Like I kind of, until you just mentioned, I kind of forgot that he was originally that guy throwing barrels at Jumpman,
who turned out to be Mario,
and then apparently Donkey Kong turned out to be a good guy.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. I guess he resolved his differences.
Whatever. Got that.
Him, and now he gets invited to Mario's parties and his kart races, and
and then now you can play as Bowser. You play as all the evil people and all the good people. It's just everyone's one big party.
And my personal favorite, Waluigi.
Oh God.
So
it's just like
Waluigi.
Oh my God.
He's just I just think it's funny because like Wario, it's just Mario with an M upside down. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. But they just like took the W-A and slapped it on front of Luigi and just pretended it was the same thing. It's not.
I know.
It should be like Ruigi, because that would be like an L upside down is an R. You know what I mean? Like a lowercase R.
I thought about that too. It makes no sense how they just went from Luigi to Waluigi,
but apparently Waluigi means like dastardly or something or it's very close to the word for dastardly in Japanese. So I guess it worked out in their favor.
He's a very dastardly guy.
Yeah. And Wario's first appearance, for those who are still on Wario trivia, is in Super Mario Land, the 6 Golden Coins, which is released for the Game Boy.
Did you not just play that?
I just played. That's how I know it. Yeah, I just played it. What happens is Wario shows up and runs into Mario's castle and flips the M, and it just turns over to a W, and then he takes it over. That was his first appearance.
Oh God, well, that's the way to do it.
I guess so. So he came on the scene with a bang. But yep. So Mario Party, 1999, February 8th. It's still a fun series, and I'm sure there's a ton of people out there looking forward to the 10th one coming out in March.
I'm looking forward to playing Mario Party 20 with my kids.
It'll never go away. And they changed the formula now where we all ride in a car together. You're not separate pieces on the board. It's very strange. I don't like it.
I'm going to have to look it up because I have no idea what you're talking about. You're all in a car?
They call it a party bus. And when you roll a dice, the car moves with everyone together in it. So like it's a whole different dynamic. You're not all over a board. You're all together. I hate it, but that's what they chose to do.
So it's not just one board. That's every single board is going to be like that.
Every single board, you're in a party bus. Yeah, it's terrible.
Man, well, Nintendo goes all in, I guess.
I mean, Nintendo's one of those. You do if you do, and you whatever that phrase is.
whatever you're trying to say, that's what Nintendo is.
Well, no, you know what I mean, because they're always like, well, Nintendo's games are all the same. Then when they try something new, everyone kind of hates it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I hate people like that. But yeah, go on.
Play some Mario Party. Bust out your N64. It's a great game, but I suggest if you want to play the best Mario Party, that would be Mario Party 2, only for the fact that Mario wears a cowboy hat on the cover. So, all right, moving on here, we're going to talk about some new releases for this week, and let me tell you, Neil, there are not a lot of them. Nothing really worth mentioning, to be honest. So, we'll start. They're mostly downloadable games, so they actually all are downloadable games. With the Game of Thrones episode 2 from Telltale. Did you play the first Game of Thrones episode, Neil?
I didn't, only because I want to wait until they all come out, and then I want to play them.
That's fair. I played the Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands, and that came out 2 weeks after the Game of Thrones. So I'm hoping this is telling me that 2 weeks from tomorrow, or today rather, when this is released, I will be playing the second Tales from the Borderlands, because I thought that game was great, but...
I mean, Telltale knows what they're doing, and they seem to be in like two different. I don't want to call them. I guess I'll call them seasons. Where like now they're doing Game of Thrones and Borderlands, and I bet when those end, they'll pick up Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead again.
Yeah,
kind of going like back and forth with those.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because I know there's been some rumors about other properties that they're trying to obtain.
Well, they got the they're gonna make the single player story for Minecraft, right?
Yes, and
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I heard that they're attempting to get Star Wars. So,
ooh,
yeah,
that would be cool.
Which would be awesome. With the new movie coming out next December, that would be a good little tie-in for them. So we'll see. Something to keep an eye on. But that's available PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, and Vita, and PC, of course. So next we got Risk, the board game,
the board game digitally.
Yeah. Risk. This is for Xbox One, PS3, PS4, and Xbox 360. You're telling me you had a Risk video game, Neil?
Back in the day, for PS2, I had a Risk video game. First off, let me say I hate Risk like a lot. Like I can't play it. I'm the guy that will just get bored and flip it.
Yeah.
Or will just be like, hey man, just come over here. You can take Africa. Just kill all of me. I don't care. I want to be done with this game.
It takes 6 hours. So
yeah, it takes so long. So, but we had it for PlayStation 2, and we didn't really play it. But there was one time when it was like a really rainy day, or there was something that we were stuck inside, and
yeah,
for whatever reason we just played it, and we played that game for hours. Like it was surprisingly fun, and it was literally just a board game on the TV, but it was just a lot of fun. So,
you know what else is a board game on the TV? Mario Party.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, they have games like that. You can always find like weird packages where they like. I mean, there's a ton of chess and stuff, but there's all sorts of that. So Risk, I mean, it seems weird, but I bet there's a small market where people are going to get really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm sure people will play. If you haven't realized, they released Monopoly, Trivial Pursuit, and Risk in the last few weeks. So I think
is it the same company?
Yeah, it's the
okay.
The game. I think they're calling the games on TV or something.
Well, it makes sense.
It does make sense. Next thing we're talking about here would be Apotheon, I believe it's pronounced, which is coming out for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But this is special for the PlayStation 4 owners because this is one of your PS Plus games of February. And it looks pretty interesting. It looks like it's like a 2D platformer that is based on, Roman mythology. And it looks like old Roman drawings on a wall. So,
yeah, I'm trying to remember what the name of that is, but like you've seen them all. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All on the pots and stuff like that. With
it's not hieroglyphics, right? That would
no. Is it Roman or Greek?
It's the gods of Olympus. It's Greek. Excuse me.
I mean that all the Romans did was just change their names and
keep
them. So it's always hard to know what it is, but I do think it's Greek.
I think it's interesting. One of my favorite games ever is Age of Mythology, just based on the fact that I like mythology. So I'll give it a try. It's free if you have a PS.
It's free. It's worth it. I mean, it does look cool. It just I don't know enough about it. It looks interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be banking too much on the aesthetics and not the gameplay kind of thing. But who knows?
Hey, I didn't know if I'd like Swapper, and I fired that up, and I absolutely loved it. So
yeah,
we'll see. It's something, download it, give it a try. If you don't like it, just delete it. And then last thing we have on here is the Hardline, Battlefield Hardline beta, which actually isn't a game, but, might as well bring it up because it's coming out on the 3rd. So we played this back in July, and I had some fun with it. I know you weren't really enjoying it. Are you going to download it and check it out again? I know you're saying that you're interested in one of the game modes they were showing.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Battlefield fan, and I know you hate it, Steve, so I've been trying for so long to get you to play, and you just won't.
No.
And the big thing about Battlefield is it's a giant battlefield. That's what sets it apart.
Oh, really, Neil? Is that what's fun?
It's a pretty deep message there, but, you can dig through it sometimes and work it out. But so it's like this huge battlefield with, I think on the PS4 it's 32 on 32 games, which is massive. And so for this Battlefield Hardline, it was really small, and I know that's why you liked it, and that's exactly why I didn't like it.
Yes.
But I read something today that sounds there's this really cool game mode. So every multiplayer has like a domination or a conquest or whatever, where you have to like stand on a point and capture it. It takes like 10 seconds and you get the point. In this, you have to get into a car. It would be like car A, car Alpha, or whatever. And to capture it, you have to drive it. And the faster you drive it, the faster you capture the point. And so the guy was saying everyone just gets in cars and just does all these high-speed chases around the city.
Motorcycles too?
With motorcycles too. And they just say... So people jump in, and then everyone gets in the car and tries to defend it, and then you have like helicopters flying to try to blow it up. And they just say it's literally like a high-speed chase where you just have like all these cars weaving in and out of each other.
Yeah.
And so that's what it sounds like, a really cool premise at least. I don't know how well it's going to work, but that's why I want to play the beta. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
That does sound cool. I know, as you know, a couple of my friends just grabbed PS4s. So I think, if we got all four of us together on in a car in that game, I think it could be some fun, even if I'm not a big Battlefield fan. But I think if you get four people together playing any game, it's fun. So
yeah, I mean, it's going to be... They describe it as like just being out of control chaos a lot of the time. And so it's going to be fun. I mean, we had fun with the beta.
We did. Well, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this a try when it comes out tomorrow and see if it influences me to purchase it. I wasn't planning on it, but I could say.
I mean, I'm a huge Battlefield fan, and I was going to skip on this one too. But this beta could be what turns it around, and I think a lot of people are actually waiting for this beta.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot of uneasiness about this title, when the last ones, everyone always gets them, and this one is more like they're not sure, especially with Battlefield 4 having all those problems and still not being fixed. Now they got this whole new setup. I don't know. It's a weird thing, and I want to really dig into the beta and see where it goes.
Well, we were just complaining last week that where the demos go for games, and with this beta being so close to release, this might as well just be called a demo.
Yeah, it basically is. I mean, they're I guess they're stress testing servers, I'm sure.
Yeah, so everyone does. Well, after Drive Club and
I mean, everyone does it, and then they still fail, so I don't understand it.
Hey, that's
I don't know.
Drive Club on PlayStation Plus ever?
Oh,
that's almost Neil. That is almost 4 full months now. It is 4 full months. It was supposed to come out in October. That's 4 months after it was supposed to come out for PlayStation Plus. It's still not here. That's insane.
It's just not going to. There's no way. It's like
they have to.
They're not. That studio, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go under. You can't really mess up like that.
Oh, wow. That was awful. I was excited for it, too. That's the sad part.
I know. It was supposed to be a launch title game.
Yep. It was supposed to be a launch title game in 2013. And here we are in 2015, still without our PlayStation Plus edition. It's crazy.
Boy.
So, actually, we skipped over one I want to mention here. Apparently, Hyperdimension Neptunia Reaper 2 Sister Generation came out last week. Did we mention that, or?
I think we mentioned that maybe once or twice. I'm not sure.
Well, it looks great. Go out and play it if you have a Vita.
I'm going to go out and get that game and find out it's the greatest of all time.
It might be. You said
just go back and play all of them.
I was looking it up earlier. There's like 17 or 18.
It comes out like not even
twice
every year. It's every 6
year.
months. They come out all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's not waste our breath on that. I'm sorry for bringing it up.
Don't be sorry. Yeah. Not ever.
I'm sorry. So a light week of releases, but there's some stuff to hold you down. You're still probably playing Dying Light if you got it last week. To Evolve coming out in a week, so I know we're looking forward to that for sure. And just take this as something to clear your backlog before you pick up Evolve next week. Which I don't even know if that has a single player component, so I don't know if you could really have that. Like, oh, I gotta beat that game, but
they were talking about it. They were trying to say how you can play it single player, but I'm pretty sure it's just you and then 3 AI computers doing the same stuff you would do multiplayer. But they're just trying to say, look, you can play it offline. We're not forcing you to play online.
Well, that's like the same thing as, hey, Titanfall had a single player campaign. No, it didn't. It was just like a bot arena.
Yeah, it's called a single player. It's really not.
So it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to playing online, and we'll definitely be streaming it. So
absolutely,
join us for that. So in some news, and this is some big one, last week it was announced that Club Nintendo was shutting down, which was Nintendo's loyalty program where you buy a game and it comes with a code, you redeem the code, and they'll give you coins for it, and there was nothing to ever redeem your coins for. So, not surprisingly, they're shutting it down. And today, they say, here's everything we're offering from now until the shutdown. And there is some really good stuff in here. And in terms of physical rewards, not that you'll ever get one because the website's been down all day, but they were offering a Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask messenger bag, which was awesome, like full logo on it and normal size bag, a Majora's Mask puzzle, and a couple poster sets for Super Smash Brothers, which are interesting. But what they're really offering, which is great, is they're offering like 100 games between Wii downloadable games, Wii U downloadable and retail games, and 3DS downloadable and retail games that you can redeem. So if you have some coins, head over there. Some highlights for you is on the 3DS, you can get New Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3D Land, which are 2 full retail games. Those are 600 coins each. Those still sell for $40. So those are steals if you haven't played them. And on the Wii U, you have The Wonderful 101, which I highly suggest. It's an awesome game by Platinum, and as I was mentioning last week, I love Bayonetta. And another game that I think everyone should pick up, I plan on picking it up, is Earthbound for 250 coins, because that game is $15 on the eShop. 250 coins is not a lot for that. So if you have your coins, go over there and check it out. And I know Neil's been silent because Neil hasn't owned a Nintendo product in 10 years. So,
I was impressed that they did this, though. I'm not going to lie. I thought they were just going to screw everybody over and be like, yeah, we're closing it. Redeem whatever. They're going to be gone soon. But they came out with this massive list that is really kind of...
I think it's awesome. Like, I have 1,200 coins, and I'm already planning... I'm probably going to get the Star Fox 64 3D for the 3DS, Earthbound, and I'll still have like 300 left over for, one or two other like NES games or Super Nintendo games. So even they're offering Game Boy Advance games too.
That's crazy. See, like I think it's really cool that they're doing that. Like it's a great send off. It's like, hey, look, I know we're shutting this down, but look, you can get all this last stuff free, and that's the way it should go out, I think.
It should, exactly. And, I'm going to come out of here with like 4 games that otherwise those coins would just go to waste. So
it basically took everyone being really mad to being really happy and excited.
Oh, it is awesome. And I'm kind of bummed that they didn't offer like one, like, here, if you have more than 1,000 coins, here's a physical reward for you, because all the physical rewards are pretty cheap still. A couple years ago, they offered a Luigi's Mansion statue for 1,000 coins, and this thing is gorgeous. Each one was hand painted. There's only like 5,000 of them, but like no one had 1,000 coins a couple years ago, so only a few people got them. Those sell on eBay for like $600 now.
That's crazy.
I was kind of hoping something like that would come along, but you can't complain with a list of games that long. I mean, we're talking over 100 games to choose from, so. And what do you're here because you're playing games, so they're giving you free ones, right?
Yeah.
So check out your Club Nintendo if you want to, get some free games. Well, not free because you paid for those coins, but redeem your coins, otherwise they're going to go to waste. So, and also talking about Nintendo, I know there's been a whole legal battle going on. Well, not legal. I think they're just saying it, that their Let's Play compensation, and I know you've been following this a little more closely than I have, Neil, so you want to explain what's going on?
Yeah, so for the longest time, Nintendo has like a no-tolerance policy. It's like you cannot stream any of our games. And like some people were able to make deals because you would see them a little bit, but not compared to like when a new Assassin's Creed comes out. Everyone's streaming it. Everyone's doing everything with it. This Nintendo was a lot harder to deal with.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to just do that. They wanted money out of it. They even said that they were like, look, you're playing our game. We should be getting a cut from this. And so what they came up with the procedure that they want to do, and that's basically you have to submit your video that has a Nintendo, whatever Nintendo video it is, to the affiliate program.
Okay.
Or your channel, you can submit your whole channel to it as well, if it's all Nintendo channel, whatever. And so what would happen then after you make a video, so from all the ad revenue, which is how most YouTube players get paid, unless they're part of another YouTube company or program, they'll mostly get it from the ad revenue. And so YouTube takes its cut first. I don't know exactly what it is. I almost want to say it's 30%. I could be wrong about that, but YouTube takes its cut first.
We haven't made any money, so who knows what it is.
When we're big and famous, we'll let you know. So YouTube takes their cut, and then they send it to Nintendo. They like whatever the negotiation is. Nintendo then takes their cut, and if it's 2 different cuts, if it's one video, they take 40%, If it's you submit your whole channel, they take 30%. And then the user gets the rest. So if YouTube takes 30 and then Nintendo takes 40, the user's getting like a small piece of the pie at the end of it, even though they're doing everything basically.
Yep. They're doing the promotion. They're the one getting the name out there. So
yeah, and the reason it really bothers me, and I'm like a strong.
Tell me, Neil, why does it really bother you?
Oh, you know what grinds my gears, Steve? So really, I've done this. I know other people have done this. Is I've watched a Let's Play of people having fun with a game, and I go, I want to go get that game. Yeah. And I've gone out and bought it. So it's like one of the best advertising streams for game developers and companies, because no one really plays a game they hate, unless if they're like, it's a weird indie game and they're trying to be funny about it. But no one plays like a 40-hour game that they absolutely hate. They love it, and they always talking good things about it, and then people go on and buy it. So I think Nintendo's literally shooting themselves in the foot with this, because I know a lot of YouTubers are already saying, we're just not going to play Nintendo games. We're just going to boycott them. We're not going to deal with this. And so they're just losing out on everything now. And I think they're going to really have to change their contract or whatever procedure they want to do, because I think it's a little outrageous they're trying to charge people 30 to 40% for a video.
Well, it's just crazy, especially because Nintendo being in the state that they are, they need all the publicity they can get. And this is bad publicity. It's going to, decrease the amount of Let's Plays. Less people are going to see games. Less people are going to buy games. The Wii U, I heard today, has not yet sold 10 million. It hasn't sold 10 million yet. PS4 did that in like 8 months. Doesn't that have to send up a warning sign to them?
It's from what I've read, what I heard, and like, I mean, obviously I don't have the inside scoop or anything, but it's basically Nintendo is run apparently by like really old school businessmen, and they're taking that old philosophy. Like, now what you do is you almost give out free stuff all the time, and not to say that their games are free, but like Let's Plays are free, and there's more free to play games because people are realizing that, and they're doing that, and Nintendo's doing almost the opposite. Besides this Nintendo Club, which I'm kind of shocked they did it, honestly. They're doing the typical old business thing where it's like, hey, look, people love to do this thing. Let's try the best way we can. Let's charge them. Let's get a slice of that. And then we'll get more revenue from it. Instead of being like, looking at the big picture, oh, people would love to play it. They love to play Mario Party and stream it. And other people go, oh, I used to love Mario Party when I was a kid. Let's go get Mario Party 8. Or what more people are doing with Let's Players, companies are actually sponsoring the videos. They're giving them a video. They're saying, here's this video. I was watching someone who was doing Sunset Overdrive. They were like, look, play Sunset Overdrive. We will give you an Xbox One bundle with Sunset Overdrive, and you can give it to one of your fans. And so everyone watched it, everyone wanted, and everyone was talking about it. So it's like good ad revenue and marketing, and Nintendo's just going the complete 180 on it, and they're really just screwing themselves over, I think.
Well, they have been doing that with their marketing for the last couple of years, so I guess this just makes sense with what they're going on. And I'm saying that as someone who absolutely loves Nintendo, so we'll see what happens. But obviously, this is not a step in the direction for anyone. Not good for them, not good for the Let's Players. So
yeah, doesn't make much sense to me, but
they're gonna do what they're gonna do. All right, so a couple of quick news stories here. We have Neil. Why don't you take the first one, because I know you actually were the one you wanted to talk about this. So go on.
Are we talking about the Tetris Grandmaster here?
The Tetris Grandmaster, the first outside of Japan. This is a man who should be an inspiration for all of us. He saw Japanese culture, and while others said no, he said yes. Tell me what happened, Neil.
So what he did...
Okay.
His name is Kevin Burrell, or I think his Twitch name is Kevin DDR.
That's Dance Dance Revolution. For the
which I assume he's about to break the next Japanese record for DDR.
Wow.
So the Tetris Grandmaster is the highest honor you can receive, apparently. And to do it...
The whole thing is ridiculous.
It's so absurd. But you watched the video, right? It's like amazing to see.
I watched it, and I like how if you did watch the video and you're listening to this, his friend has no idea what the fuck's going on.
He does not care. He's like, oh, this is really cool, and the guy's like freaking out, and his friend's like, oh, what do you have to do? Oh, is this like, did you do it yet or something? Yeah. And the guy's freaking out.
Yeah, I did it. Didn't you see it say you're a Grandmaster? Who the hell?
But it's incredible. What you have to do to achieve this rank, this high honor,
Okay.
Is you have to basically do, from what I could tell, I'm not a Tetris master, Grandmaster by any means. You have to.
Not even a Tetris novice, to be honest.
To get anything in a line in that game for me is amazing.
Well, you're colorblind.
Yeah, it's geometry though.
That's true. True. But
what this guy proves is you don't even need to see the blocks to do it.
Yeah.
Because so what you do is for like I think 3 or 4 games you have to perfect it. Like you get a score and you have to get the highest score possible, and you have to do it like 3 times in a row, and then the credits roll, and then they like shoot all this stuff to distract you. You have to do it one more time, and then they come down as invisible blocks that you cannot see, and you have to perfect that as well, or last long enough to get a high score on it. So this guy was able to do Tetris with no blocks without being able to see any of them. I don't know if he literally memorizes them.
I think it's probably the sounds that they come out to. They might be different.
Maybe. I have no idea, but it's really impressive to watch. It's really crazy to watch. And then, I mean, congrats to him. He said this was the greatest day of his life, and I believe it is.
So it's safe to say that Kevin Burrell has set other goals for himself in life. Well, some people say, I want to be a doctor, or I want to be a politician. He said, I want to be a Texas Grandmaster.
A Texas Grandmaster.
A Tetris Grandmaster. Well, good for him. I mean, all the power to him. I hope that this story gets him laid a few times in the ball. I don't know what else.
I'm sure, hey, dude, he could be a superstar. That could be winning the Super Bowl 10 times over. That this man is just.
I'm going to severely doubt that, but it could be. It could be, Neil. He could have won the Super Bowl 10 times. Maybe he's really popular in Japan, in which case he should, move there. So, good for him. Texas Grandmaster. He's the Grandmaster of Texas, guys. What that means is he runs the whole state. No, Tetris Grandmaster, good for him. First outside Japan. So, moving on to more
you're so stunned by this amazing his presence that of just.
This... I don't want to belittle his accomplishment, but it's dumb. Okay.
I don't know. I respect it. It takes a lot of time and effort to it. Does it, Neil? Or does it take one man with Tetris and no other ambition? To me, it's got to be like after you beat it, you just go, what do I do? Do I keep playing it?
Exactly.
Well, he must go to DDR. That must be his go-to.
Maybe he already is a Grandmaster in DDR.
That's in his name. It must be.
I just don't understand. I have so many questions for this guy. Why Tetris? There's not at the end of this. You don't even get a piece of paper. You're basically getting a pat on the back and
You don't know that he could be. He could go to Japan and have a huge tournament where he could win tons of money.
Or he could just not, and he's just a normal everyday person in society. No one's gonna stop him on the street and be like, "Wait a second. Are you Kevin Burrell?"
I bet someone does. I bet you someone does.
No, I don't think someone will. Unless he lives in Japan. And then in that case, everyone will stop him.
So this is a little off topic about the same thing. Did you ever see there was a short documentary about the guy who first beat Pac-Man?
It's a documentary, not a documentary. You emphasized the Terry. Go on, Neil.
So he was the first guy that beat Pac-Man, completely beat it, got the highest score possible. Okay. And it's just his life is just selling salsa. That's what he really does.
His life is selling salsa?
His family makes salsa, I believe. And
don't stores do that?
No, he has a salsa store, and that's what he does.
Just salsa?
It's family made. It's supposed to be really good, but he's held on to this Pac-Man thing, and I feel like that's what Kevin DDR is going to be doing with Tetris. He's going to be that time when I was a Grandmaster?
Yeah.
But who knows? It's his life choices.
Can we go back to the salsa for a second? What's the name of the salsa? Can you buy it in the store? I'd love to try it.
I can't remember. I wish I did. If he doesn't have Pac-Man on it, I'll be surprised.
Yes, that sounds something. Is it a pun in the name?
do you get the copyright after you beat the game? Maybe Kevin DDR now owns Tetris? Yeah.
Oh, no. You know who owns Tetris now is Ubisoft.
Do they really?
Yeah, because they just released that one that doesn't work, and they're like Ubisoft can't even release a Tetris game.
Oh man, they're in some trouble.
All right, well, yeah, Texas.
Oh my god, man, get it right.
Tetris, Grandmaster, also Pac-Man God Makes Salsa. Moving on.
Finally.
So the first ever, everyone's aware, the PlayStation 4 released the 20th edition one that had like the PS1 coloring to it, and they're numbered. So number 1 was sold at auction for the proceeds were going to the Save the Japan Fund, or Save
Japan. We gotta save Japan, man.
Godzilla's coming again. Quick, someone buy it. It was the Save the Children Fund for Japan, the Japanese children, and it sold for $120,000. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. It's terrible. $120,000.
Like it's terrible. Like that's an absurd amount of money to.
No, it's just I'm laughing because I said save the Japan and the Texas Grandmaster. $120,000, and it was, I think, is awesome. Matched by Sony, and a total of $256,000 was donated to charity just for the number 1. Or the first of whatever. I think it was 12,000 or something.
Something like that. Like I don't know. I think it's really cool that they did this.
It's 12,514 because the date was 12.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
So it's cool. I mean, I thought that they looked awesome, and I would love to get my hands on one, but obviously that's almost impossible. So
yeah, I mean, they're definitely cool. I liked how they did make it really exclusive like that. Like they weren't like, "Hey, people like this. All right, let's make 1 million of them now."
I'll be honest. I just want the controller. Like release the controller.
It looks so cool.
It's so cool. Like I love when consoles are just gray boxes. Like like it was just so simple and. Like,
I'm just happy.
They're like, here, this thing plays games, like, deal with it, you know?
Yeah. I'm just happy the PS4 is flat.
Yes.
So I can put a controller on top of it when I'm done.
PS3 was embarrassing.
PS3, like, you couldn't stack anything on it, and, like, I don't know.
I was amazed, though, that as they, like, made the slimmer and slimmer ones, they still made it rounded.
I gotta imagine it must have been something in it that did that. Like, there's no way. Because everyone complained about it immediately, and there must have been something in there that was like, look, man, there's like this pillar or something that just, you can't flatten it. It just got to be round. Who knows?
Remember when you got your PS4 and you were like freaking out because there's like this bump in between the 2 layers?
It's such a random bump, and you know it is.
Well, all right, so to put some preface on this, in case you guys are wondering, we are speaking with royalty because Neil won the Taco Bell PS4.
That is my Grandmaster.
I'll give him a random applause right there.
That is, I go around telling people that every day. They're like, "Hey, man, so like, what was your life achievement?" I won a PS4 from Taco Bell.
So, the sad part is that he won it using a strategy that I enlightened him.
That was the greatest part.
So we said our plan was to wake up in the middle of the night and enter our codes when no one's entering them, and he picks like 342. And I was like, oh, I was going to do like around then. I'll do like 4:15.
Oh, no, I didn't make you change yours.
No, I'm not saying you did, but I was like, okay. So anyway, I wake up at 4:15. I get a text from him. I won. So then I enter mine in. Of course, I'm a loser. So
it was so great.
I guess good for him.
But it was funny that we both agreed to different times because we were afraid one of us would win it in the same time frame, and then we'd hate each other forever.
Yeah, and well, I still hate you, but
yeah, well, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be going well. So anyway, going back, so Neil had his before mine, and he said, when you get yours, make sure you have a bump.
Yeah, I was freaking out because I was like analyzing it, and there was this random bump. And if you have a PS4, you can check it. Feel like in that
it's
groove.
It's in between like the top and bottom hard plastic. There's like the inlet. Run your finger around there, you'll feel a bump.
Yeah, so it's there. It's normal, but the greatest part about that is, for a day, I was the #1 pirate in Assassin's Creed 4 because no one else had the game.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I think we should continue here. So, some great news coming out. Great news for me because I love this service. But Sony is dropping Music Unlimited and replacing it with Spotify, which is amazing.
That's really incredible.
When it comes, you'll be able to play your music from Spotify in the background of your games. And, if you have an existing Spotify account, you can just log in And do you have to have premium? I have premium already, but do you have to?
They haven't mentioned it as far as I know. I don't think so. I'm going to say it's not going to be a premium thing, but it wouldn't be a bad idea if it was.
I figure like if you don't have premium, they'll just stream it like you can on your computer, but they'll just have ads.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
So I think that's going to be great. When that comes out, I'm going to be very, very tempted to buy Drive Club because I love playing like my own music, playing driving games. So
I completely agree. Like for me, I love that the PS3 there were games you could play your playlist in the background of. Those were the games I played the most. I think it was Warhawk, and then Killzone 2 for sure. That's one of the reasons why I loved Killzone 2 so much because I would literally just play music I really liked and then just play Killzone and I'd just like zone out forever. And so this is going to be huge for me. I love being able to play music in the background.
I love Spotify. I think Spotify's a great service. So I got some bad news if you want to listen to Taylor Swift when you play. You can't. But, you know, for almost anything else, this is pretty exciting. And they said it's coming in spring. We're going to guess at the end of March.
The reason why I'm thinking March is that's when Music Unlimited stops. So I assume soon after they're going to start the next music service. They're not going to want a big time of space where there's no music available. So that's I'm thinking March, end of March-ish.
Well, I think it's just a good idea. No one used Music Unlimited. It was just a waste.
Yeah, I mean that was like, and Sony realized that. I think I've definitely got a quote. I'm trying to think where like they were like, Music Unlimited wasn't working. People love Spotify. We made a deal. Yeah. It just made sense.
I read the quote. I believe the exact words were, Music Unlimited sucked, and we're moving on.
Okay.
So take this next one, Neil. You're the one who brought my attention. I heard about this, and
so it's not.
Means.
Yeah, it's not like the end of the world or some crazy news, but Sony Entertainment Online, which I want to know the years, but they've been with Sony for the longest time, and it was a company that Sony owned, and they've officially split, and now they're Daybreak Game Company, and these are the people who bring you EverQuest, and they're working on right now EverQuest Next, which is really hard to explain, but I looked a long time ago. I looked at this. It's been like in alpha for the longest time. It's almost like, think of it like a fantasy RPG, but you can build like Minecraft. So like you build like your own castle, and so it's almost like any RPG or MMO. I guess you'd say MMO. It's an MMO where like you could just be a builder and never fight at all, and just get really good like ores and stuff, and build really cool houses, and then just sell them to people. And so it's supposed to be the self-sustaining economy once it gets going, almost like EVE Online or I don't know. I know there's like what?
Second Life?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's like it's stuff like that.
Do you know what Second Life is?
I have no idea.
Second Life is an MMO, and the reason I say self-sustaining economy is because people, you can build things in it, but it's just turned into a voyeur like sex scene.
Did it really?
So like originally they were like, oh, like you could build like houses, and then like you'll be able to use in-game currency, which is real money, and pay someone, and they can redeem that for real money. But then what it turned into was just like, yeah, like make me a bondage outfit. Like because people are like behind avatars, like people are like, oh, like I'll just be this hot girl and live out my fantasy.
Okay. So their second life. They're living out this.
Yes, the Second Life. Yep. I'm sorry for bringing it up, but that's just
no. It's worth bringing up. So it's just a Switch, which is kind of because people love EverQuest, and they did just come out with the most recent title H1N1, which I haven't played. I assume is kind of like a little zombie survival type of game.
What I hear.
Yeah, so it's like that, and why people are so interested is it's had exclusivity to Sony. And now it doesn't, so people are like who have never played like EverQuest or anything are waiting to get it to Xbox. They think it's going to come to Xbox and stuff now because it's its own developer company. So that's why it's kind of cool. It's just one of those things where like, oh, Sony had like the grips on it and they let it go, and now it's out in the world and more people are going to get to play these games. But worth mentioning, nothing absolutely shocking, happens all the time, but definitely keep your eye on it.
It's not as big as people thought. But I mean, I saw people's reactions saying, "Oh, Sony sold off a first-party studio. This isn't PS4 stuff."
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy. It's not like the Tetris Grandmaster over here, but I mean, it's definitely something.
Was that Texas or Tetris?
That was the Tetris of Save Japan Fund. We can put a link in the description for you. Make sure that Japan does not go under.
Oh God! All right. So that's all the news that happened this week. Literally, that's everything that happened in the world. Nothing else happened.
Nothing else.
You got it. You got it all. And if anything happens past 9 o'clock Eastern on Monday night, then forget it ever happened.
it's too late.
We'll tackle it next week. So all right, Neil, what have you been playing these days?
So I'm gonna say Life is Strange, which I played over the weekend. Very short, just like episodic, like Telltale that we were talking about. I think it was an hour and a half, most, and I really enjoyed it. It's it's a little like too high school drama-y. Like you walk out and like jocks are pushing a geek into the lockers, and the cheerleader's dating the captain of the football team. Like it's a little too stereotypical, but it's really neat. Like it's very artsy, and not in like a super pretentious way or anything. Everyone looks like they were almost painted with like heavy brush strokes. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is when someone takes a selfie in that game with just like a camera or something like that.
Wait, there's selfies in the game?
There are selfies. It's the thing is you're at an art school and all the characters are really pretentious, but they're supposed to be. So it's like really over the top.
This is ridiculous. God.
But it sounds so weird. It sounds strange. It sounds like Life is Strange.
That sounds strange.
But I just like the way that they present it. It's really creative. So like if someone took a picture with a camera, what they'd show you is like a hand painting instead. So it's just like, I don't know, quirky things like that. It's really interesting. There's like this girl suddenly went missing a couple months ago and no one like knows anything and they're not talking about it. And like something happened to her. And so you're trying to kind of like, you're not trying to find out yet, but it's clearly that's where it's going to go. That like this nice little town is actually pretty crazy and weird. But that's more or less what's been taking up my time. I'm sure we'll mention Dying Light eventually, but I want to hear what you've been playing.
You have to confess to some things. So I played the Codename Steam demo that was released for 3DS. And if you're not familiar with this game, let me just tell you, it's pretty realistic. Abe Lincoln is the leader of a international brand of spies who use steam weapons in order to vanish or banish the aliens from England. So it's pretty, it's something like an XCOM where it's a tactical RPG in that like you move your characters and then like you take your turn. It's like it's on the grid or whatever. And it's over the shoulder, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. The weapons are pretty cool. You can have a party of 4 people that you're controlling over a battlefield, and it has this really cool thing called Overwatch mode. So basically, everything you do is based on Steam. Obviously, it's steampunk. So every square you move uses a thing of steam, and based on the shots that you take, it uses a bunch of different steam. So like a normal shot uses 3. If you throw a grenade, that uses 2. So if you end your turn with steam remaining, and an enemy crosses across your path, you can attack even though your turn's not going on. So it's a cool balance of how much am I going to move and how much am I going to attack, or am I going to leave steam that I'm going to want for my defense if someone comes into my line of sight. This way I can defend myself and shoot back. So it's fun. If you've ever played XCOM, it's a lot like XCOM. Enemy Unknown, the newest one.
Wait, so is it? I know it's tactical. So like after you, but you said you can like you go behind them and it's still like a third-person shooter.
The way you move is like Gears of War. Like you're like close camera. You're behind them. And then when you're shooting, like you're aiming and you're hitting the button, but it's tactical in the fact that you move, the enemies aren't moving. You're moving on a grid. Then once you move all your characters, you say end turn, and then they do their moves.
Okay, so it's not like you're over the top.
No.
You go here,
it's
but
not
it's
like
not.
Fire Emblem. It's not like Fire Emblem, although it's by the creators. So
Okay. It sounds. I mean, it sounds unique to say the least.
Well, I know it's literally a game you would love because I was reading some impressions, and the first thing
Valkyria Chronicles.
Valkyria Chronicles on 3DS is the first thing anyone wrote.
Well, it is one of the best games ever. So
yes, so I think it's gonna be cool. It's coming out March 13th, which is a little over a month, and grab a new 3DS. And
did you say March 13th, Steve?
I think so.
Well, what do you know? That's my birthday. So clearly, I have to go get myself a 3DS
and codename Steam
and codename Steam and have the time of my life with Abe Lincoln.
Treat yourself. In case you're wondering, Steam not only says it's steampunk, but it stands for Steam Team Eliminating Alien Monsters.
Oh my god. How creative was that? That they came up with two ways
I know,
to use the word.
It's a new Nintendo IP. Go play it. Everyone always says, oh, Nintendo, uses the same IPs. Here's a new one. Go play it. It's fun. So, yep, I played a little bit of that. And I know I'm like 10 years behind here, but I started Persona 4 over the weekend. Golden for the Vita TV or PlayStation TV. And, I only got like an hour and a half in, so I haven't even fought a battle yet.
Did you get to any gameplay?
Nope. No gameplay. All I did was like the social aspect of talking to people. It's awesome. Like I've always heard that game is like one of the best stories ever. I'm an hour and a half in and I'm hooked. I don't think you've played it, right, Neil?
I haven't played it, but I've played, I think, Persona 4 Arena, which is like
that's the fighting game.
It's a 2D fighting game, but it has that same appeal to it where it's like just 2D characters with big block text and just like an in-depth story and stuff like that. And I know if I played Persona 4, I'd really like it.
It's awesome.
It sounds like a game I would like.
It's just like the story grips you, and the way they present it. I mean, it's great. And I hear it's like 60 hours long, so I'm really just looking forward to delving into it and finding out.
It's one of those games that you don't sit down to bust it out. You pretty much like, I'm gonna play like an hour of Persona 4 and just enjoy it. But then I also hear it does hook you where like you'll just sit and you'll just play it for so long because you just want to know what's happening.
You want to advance the story. So, and I've watched some gameplay, so the combat looks like it's fun. So I'm looking forward to it. It's something that I'm going to be probably playing over a couple months just to complete it. So background. So that's what we've been playing. But me and you'll have to confess something.
What are you going to confess, Steve?
We, for lack of a better word, shit all over Dying Light last week.
We tore it apart
in our
badly.
First ever podcast. We said, I literally asked, I said, Neil, are you interested? And he said, not in the slightest. Well, we found ourselves without anything to play. And it was 2 weeks from Evolve. We said, let's get it. Let's just give it a try. Neil, do you like it?
I love it. It's
Me
so
too.
much fun.
I think it's fantastic. I love this game. I love it. And I don't know why I love it, because it's very similar to Dead Island, but I think it's a lot of fun.
I think it's like, there's definitely, I'm not about to be like, oh, this is the perfect game, because there's definitely a lot of...
Oh, no, it's not perfect at all.
It's like, don't take us wrong with like, this game is a game to end all games. It's just, it's a lot of fun. That you just can have a lot of fun with it, but it has to do with how much you want to do with it. Like, yeah, you can like swing an axe at a zombie, or you can drop kick him off a building, and see where he lands. So it's kind of one of those where like
it's just a playground where you do whatever you want. And then I'm finding myself, I'm actually enjoying the story missions. I think they're very varied so far.
I agree. You start to find the pattern where it's like, oh, you go in a tunnel, there's zombies. You go in a building, there's people. But I was about to say I'm liking the story. I'm not liking the story at all.
Well, I think the story's decent. I don't think it's terrible.
I think it's the most typical generic plot line you can get, basically. And so it's not doing anything for me. But like you were saying, the story missions, I am liking those. They are like, because a lot of the side missions are obviously, oh, I need 5 things, go run to the 4 corners of the map and go find them all and stuff like that. And that's annoying, but it's kind of like fun to run around. Obviously, that's the point of the game. But the story missions are really pretty creative in that. Where
I think so.
I think my favorite one, which I don't care if this is a spoiler at all, you have to at one point plant bombs on steel supports in a building.
Oh yeah, that's
like a hive of zombies, and it was like I just did that as fast as possible.
It's intense, yeah.
It's so intense because you have a bomb ticking down. It's already set, so you have like 2.5 minutes or something, and then you're going in like it's almost like the I Am Legend scene where he goes in after like the dog. So you're like in this dark building where all these zombies like live or whatever, and you're trying to run around and plant bombs, and you're like jumping up through floors and like sliding through doors or whatever, and that's when I was like, this game is really good, and I'm really enjoying it, even by myself, just as a single player experience.
Well, we've been playing a ton of co-op on it. We've been posting a lot of videos on YouTube about our co-op, and they've been doing pretty well for our standards. So, yeah, we've really been enjoying it. If you want to see some gameplay, check out our channel. You can see me yelling at Neil for being colorblind.
like always.
Fighting a fireman, climbing, doing a mission challenge. And I think that's something we should mention. I can't speak tonight, Neil. I'm very sorry.
You can't ever speak. It's okay.
It's just, it's so tough being me. If only I could see color.
Oh, man. I'm sure. So, go on.
The co-op, when you're playing co-op and you're doing the story missions, or just running around, these little like challenges come up, and like both players have to hold something to start them, but they're pretty fun. Like if you're just like in a random area, it's like, all right, loot. Whoever loots the most amount of money gets 1,000 experience points for survival, and that's like a lot, Like,
yeah.
You get 5,000 for a mission, so you get 1/5 of that just by doing a 2-minute challenge, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's a really good idea because you'll be at one part of the map and you'll be like, all right, we have to go over here. It's like, race, and whoever gets there first, and then it's like it suddenly becomes this intense thing. It's not a chore anymore. Or you'll see a horde of zombies, like whoever takes the most out wins. So it does this competitive nature with everyone, and that really makes any possible repetitive, boring section become far more interesting.
I think it's a fun game. I'm going to hold out on giving it a number until I finish it, which I'll probably do this week, and we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, I'm working on that myself. And then what I did when I was telling you about like there are 2 sections. I won't say more than that. 2 areas of the map, I mean. And there's one area where like the buildings are a little taller. And at night it gets very scary. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube and watch the nighttime video, and you can see
Neil is
very scared.
Yeah, terrified.
And so, but at night, what's a cool system, it's more dangerous, so they give you double XP for everything, which is a really neat thing.
So it rewards you, like, you get double XP for going out and, like, killing people and stuff. It rewards you for being bold, which is a really cool system.
Yeah, so you can run and hide at night and skip it, or you can stay out and try to get points. And what I realized just last night playing is the longer you're out, like every hour it's a dynamic time setup. Every hour you're out, you're getting points, even if you're not doing anything. And if you survive the whole night, you get like 5,000 points, like a lot amount, a good amount. And so I just like stood on a building, just climbing like up and down a wall one time, and I just like leveled up a ton. So it's got that aspect where you can just like use it to your advantage.
Yeah, and like I've seen people just like they just hole out, they like find the building and they just stay there overnight, and it's like a real survival.
And I read that what you're supposed to do is at night is you find like an interior section that won't have the really tough zombies, and then you just take out all the easy zombies inside, and you just get you get double the XP, and you don't have to worry about anything. So it's cool that it does stuff like that it changes the gameplay based off the time, and it's a dynamic time. So you'll be doing a mission, and your watch will start beeping, and you're like, oh my god,
it's terrifying.
you get this such a rush trying to get back to your safe house and finish your mission. You have to make that decision, like, do I have enough time to finish this, or should I just start it tomorrow? Like, what am I going to do? So that, I think, is one of my favorite things about Dying Light, is that dynamic time they have set up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm really enjoying it. If you're looking for something to play, you like open world games, go for it. It's fun. And if you don't believe us, stop by, watch a stream, or watch some YouTube stuff, and you'll get a...
Come on down!
Yeah, come on down! And all that information will be in the video description. where you can go and do that. So, yep. We have to eat crow on that one. We said it'd be terrible. We like it. So.
We're literally so wrong. To be fair, Dead Island did suck. I'm standing by that.
And let's just say, take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're just very cynical.
You should never believe anything we say.
Ever. Except for when I tell you that the Grandmaster of Tetris is...
Or if we're starting a GoFundMe for Japan to try to save it.
Oh, God. Save Japan. No, it's not Save Japan. It's Save the Japan.
Save the Japan? We need to save the Japan, Steve. Come on.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to discuss, or do you think that we can wrap this up and fly her out of here?
I just want to hear more analogies you got. I mean, I want to keep it going as long as possible and hear what else you're going to say or misspeak.
Last week I was talking about hitting a punching bag with a slab of meat.
Oh, that's my favorite saying from now on. It just fits every situation.
This week I'm wrapping it up and flying it out of here. All right. So thanks for tuning in for the second episode of the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast. Time to plug some stuff. So tune in next week for the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast number 3. And we'll be having a special Valentine's Day segment in which we'll be highlighting co-op games that would be perfect for you to play with your Valentine's Day sweetie. Mine's Neil. I know we'll be playing
We're going to be playing so much on Valentine's Day.
Evolve. So that'll be a fun little segment. We'll probably each have a list of 5 and have some romantic maybe a glass of wine together. Who knows what happens? It's all the same in the dark. So we have our Twitter, which is Koalafied GGs, also found in the description. Our Twitch, which is twitch.tv/QualifiedGamerGuys, link in the description. And our YouTube. You're here. You found it.
Congratulations, you did it.
You did it. Congratulations. You've won one free iPod Nano. You remember those? Those are great.
I do remember those. They were great.
Man, I thought I won. So you're here at the YouTube. Subscribe. It means the world. Watch some videos. Stay a while. This is our 70th video, Neil. 70.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Do we really have 70?
Yeah, because I uploaded 2 today, and I got to 69. I had a chuckle, and I said, hey, next one's going to be 70.
I was going to say, we can't go past it. See, we have to stop. Stop everything.
We have to start deleting. This will never make it. If you like our awesome jingle, go over to soundcloud.com/gearheadedm. Link will also be in the description. And last but not least, we would love to hear from you guys. If you're out there listening, send us an email at qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com.
I love your enthusiasm. I love it. We would love to have you guys.
Did you hear that voice crack?
I heard you crack. Yeah, man. You gotta sign off and get out of here.
I'm so sorry. I've had a rough night. I hope you've been entertained, Neil.
Oh, so every time I talk to you, I'm entertained.
Hit us up on Gmail at qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. Ask us a question. Ask some advice. We'll read it on air. We'll talk about it for a little while. We'll add it as a segment in the show. We'll give you a shout out if you want us to give you a shout out. If not, you can remain anonymous so no one knows you're listening to a podcast that no one listens to. So, I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope you come around next week. And get ready to play some Evolve with me and Neil and look for us on Twitch for the rest of the week. Right, Neil?
Absolutely. We'll be streaming most likely Wednesday and Thursday.
Most likely. That means we'll be streaming Wednesday.
We will definitely be streaming Wednesday and Thursday. Follow us on Twitter for any special streams that we may come up with that aren't scheduled.
Did I say the Twitter? I said the Twitter.
You said the Twitter, yes. KGGs.
are you
there is an S on that.
KGGs, yes. G's, S. It'll be in the bottom. Just click on the links in the description. You'll get there. So, all right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for joining us, and we'll hope to hear from you in the comments, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening.